And before we start, let me now state that there's an issue that has come up here, and Kpakpo said this is dangerous, and we were all a bit taken aback. It's not the first time I'm hearing somebody make the suggestion that there is something out there in the public that suggests that the CJ may have known about this project by ANAS. The Office of the Chief Justice wishes to make it unequivocally clear that the Chief Justice had no knowledge before and during the said project or investigations. She had completely no knowledge, no clue whatsoever. The only time she came into the picture was when, as required by law, she was brought into the picture, particularly when ANAS indicated that he intended to screen the video to the whole world. So once again, the Office of the Chief Justice wants the whole world to know that the Chief Justice had no knowledge whatsoever about the project when it started, when it was going on, nothing. Until when, by law, the project had to come to her attention for her to do her constitutional administrative duty of setting up a committee to investigate the High Court judges, and also setting up a committee to investigate the lower court judges, which came to her directly. I hope that settles it for those of you who have been holding that speculation. Thank you very much indeed. And now, okay, there's one of the lawyers for one of the judges also wants to make a quick intervention, and we'll bring him on to speak to him briefly on this issue. But Kpakpo, I was asking that, number one, let's take some issues this way. On ANAS's website, he tells how expensive it is to undertake some of these projects. For ANAS to have conducted how many, 2 years of a project, that will cost a fortune. How did he fund it if it was not funded by the state?
Oh, the state did leave it out, but you don't expect me to tell you how they funded their project. The point being made is that it's not the state or the government that funded it. But as you yourself indicated, if you go onto their website, they have clients. Government of Ghana. Government of Ghana didn't start with the Mills of Mahama administration, if you know that. It goes back from the Kufuor administration. MTN, Ghana. Interpol, Anglo Gold Ashanti, Newmont, Ghana. Group 4 Securico Limited, Panos West Africa, Legal Resource Ghana, Center Ghana, Global Risk Analysis Control. These are clients they've indicated, that there are many more that are not captured there. Then you go, you see their service rates, the things they do. Undercover agency, they fix the figure. Excise, excuse duty fraud, comprehensive undercover investigations, deep company due diligence, undercover surveillance, secret camera, hidden camera planting, deep employee background checks, among others. So it's an entity that works, that investigates, and that makes money on that.
He's guilty on one thing.
Which is?
His prices are quoted in dollars.
Yes, his prices are quoted in dollars.
But whether are they paid in dollars?
You can't invoice in dollars.
But are they paid in dollars? That's the question. They are not paid in dollars. Now there's been the point about whether government funds some of those projects funded. It's become a debate before, if you recall.
Yeah.
The customs one.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Information, I remember, was a Blackwell, then deputy, who issued a statement to the effect.
Okay.
Am I going on?
Okay, just hold on briefly for me. I'm joined on the phone lines by lawyer Samoa Addo, who is lawyer for Justice Derry. Paul Derry, you know him. He has been mounting such a spirited fight against the ANAS expose and the documentary being used against him. Thank you for joining us, Ni.
Thank you, Samson. It's always a pleasure.
Great. We had heard in the course of the week that because of these disclosures or this news as angle that Matanamido has brought, some of the lawyers, we have heard John Ndebugre, we have heard Charles Bentum, they belong to a different team altogether, saying that they were going to use the information given by them to them by Matanamido to prosecute a completely different angle, which will see this case die a natural death. You have already put petitions, writs in the court. When I heard some of the things he said, I realized that some of the things that he was looking at were not completely different from what you were already pressing.
Precisely. And I think it's very interesting that senior voices, legal voices such as Matanamido, are beginning to raise some of the very legal points that are before our court. But it's quite significant that Matanamido makes the point that, in his opinion, mounting a prosecution on this particular evidence will be difficult. One other thing that is interesting is whether unlawfully obtained evidence can be the subject matter of the removal of justice of the Superior Court. I think that is also very interesting. And one other point that has come up, but which I respectfully disagree, and is the reason for my intervention, very short intervention, has to do with the additional charge of misconduct under the Code of Conduct of the judges and magistrates. Now, Samson, you would agree, and I'm sure you have cited some of the copies of the petition that were sent.
Mm-hmm.
The petition that was sent under Article 146 was very specific in respect of the allegation of bribery against the Superior Court judges. Now, the Article 146 of the Constitution makes it mandatory that the petition that is submitted to the President and which is examined by the Chief Justice for purposes of a prima facie case must be exclusively based on the petition that is submitted. Now, the question that arises is whether an additional charge not emanating from the petition that was submitted can be added in respect of the work that the committee is supposed to look at when a prima facie case has been made and has been forwarded to the committee to look at. So you have a petition that makes specific criminal allegations against an individual judge. Now, from Mr. Matanamido's point of view, it is only a court of competent jurisdiction that can make findings of criminality against a specific judge. Now, where the petition does not allege ex parte communication with the said judge, can an extra charge be drafted and be the subject matter of scrutiny by a said committee? Would the committee be acting in accordance with the Constitution? So I think that is an interesting question that we must all avert our minds to and see that this extra charge cannot be the subject matter of some future, legal challenge when any findings are made against the judge. Because from what Mr. Matanamido said, clearly the evidence can only be used in respect of administrative punishment, administrative processes against these judges. Now, if this so-called evidence is to survive that particular threshold, it means that the charge that is against the Superior Court judges must emanate from the petition that was sent. Now, you know that you can actually send a petition to the Judicial Council reporting that a particular judge has misconducted himself, and the Judicial Council can independently investigate the said misconduct.
And it happens all the time. It happens all the time, and the Judicial Council has been removing some of them also.
Exactly. Now, we are looking at Article 146 and a petition sent under Article 146, which means that it goes to the President refers it to the Chief Justice, the Chief Justice makes a prima facie finding on the petition that has been. Now, a careful examination of the petitions that were sent against the individual would disclose.
All right.
There was no charge of ex parte communication with third parties. There was nothing like that.
Okay,
you
are dealing with technicality here, isn't it?
It's not about technicality.
Other than that, the entire petition borders on the unpermitted, unlawful ex parte communications. Is that not the case?
Something.
Yes. Yes.
Here is the case where making a particular petition. Your petition alleges specific allegations.
Okay.
The judges concerned are required to respond to the petition that you have said. You understand? And the charges contain
you already have gone back to the court with a writ saying that the police's invitation to your client is wrong because your client under Article 1273, which says that a justice of the Superior Court or any person exercising judicial power shall not be liable to any action or suit for any act or omission by him in the exercise of the judicial power.
So long as you have linked your charge to the exercise of his judicial authority by making allegations pertaining to the exercise of his judgment. That's a different issue.
Yeah, there are those who are asking you those questions that if a judge steals, can you say is the exercise of judicial power?
Oh, come on. I mean, we have prosecuted judges in these countries for stealing. So that is nothing new.
Okay,
but
thank you.
When you say that the person has exercised his power in a particular manner, which exercise is upon the judicial exercise of his powers as a judge, that's a different issue. But I just wanted to quickly draw that attention so that we can have a helpful debate as we go on.
Okay, Ni, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's Ni Samoa Addo, who is lawyer for Justice Derry. And I was actually asking you to address those questions one by one briefly.
Yes, I'm saying that when it came to the cocoa board, cocoa smuggling,
yes,
it was cocoa board that asked Anas to do it. The collaboration that went on was in the form of cocoa board supplying him with a truckload of cocoa for him to use as part of the bid to find out whether indeed
no payment whatsoever.
No payment. Anybody who insists there was financial payment must do the right thing, produce the evidence, and let's proceed. The same with the customs.
But Amidu says such payments will not be made public. They will not be traceable.
But you see, this is the problem I have. So what are we doing to ourselves? If you are going to make a claim that you cannot sustain with evidence, why make it?
You're proceeding to a second example.
Why make it? So that you leave it there and we all chew on it.
You're moving to a second example.
Now, Anas has done work, plenty work. See, inside Ghana's madhouse, undercover at the Ghana's biggest psychiatric hospital, who funded it? Who sponsored it? Independent. They themselves sat down and said, this is a job we should do. In the interest of the state, that is the cocoa, that one cocoa board called him. Based on this thing that he's put out there, that these are the abilities. You have the Osu Children's Home, who sponsored it. You remember even the ministry had problems with them, okay? Then you have enemies of the nation undercover to expose fraud at Ghana's Tamahabo. Now, you ask, what was the collaboration? In doing that work, of course, the president had come in. What do? You want access to some areas in order to plant your cameras. You see, what I'm doing is even it's unfair to them. I'm exposing methodologies, which is not good, but we are compelled to say something. But then
you'll be on the Super Morning Show on Monday.
For instance, the other Kokoti, you know he was arrested. You know the Tamahabo, 2 of his people were arrested. Now, collaboration comes in the form of there's a prior notice to some strategic people in some institutions. So he had to be released. He stayed in the cells for 2 days. Okay? So it takes a lot of things to do. I mean, there's so many dons of the forest. They follow up.
But the question really is that this is a very expensive enterprise. For 2 years, roughly how much will it cost?
Oh, I wouldn't give you.
I'm looking at his quotations per day. Some of them is about how much?
Do you know Anas works with international agencies too? I've even been told that somebody is on his way to
where. You have often said that this entity is a poor one. You say they are poor.
No. He has mentioned a lot of clients.
Yes.
Corporate clients. Every corporate citizen is supposed to do something for society.
No, I want them to say that.
Yes.
How did they fund it?
You don't know.
Let me be honest with you. these are red herrings. Somebody's made specific allegations. We haven't even addressed those allegations. And then he brings more. It's as if we are on a fishing expedition. But whatever it is, those are legitimate questions that will be answered subsequently. We want our focus to remain on the explosive allegation of government having commissioned 2 projects, one on judiciary and one on parliament. Let somebody prove that. If you can't, shut down.
I am making those deductions and asking this question from what he has said, that this is such a monumental project. It costs a lot of money.
Yes.
And
so
the entity,
so he should
you
come
often
and tell
say you're poor, scanty, whatever.
Who said?
Can you?
Who said?
No, I've heard that
they
in
have-
your little
see,
small way you do things on your own.
No. You're talking here tiger eye.
Yes.
Okay. There are times there's overlapping. You know that crusading guide stuff
Right.
and things come into it, and then it's blended. But we're talking tiger eye. I've shown you they have clients.
Okay.
They've
He's
undertaken
saying
jobs
that.
for this client.
Namidu is saying that for an entity to act like a security, an intelligence entity, it ought to be registered under the Security Intelligence Act.
He's raising a legal issue.
Yes.
Finances lawyers have responded to it. Indeed, the truth is that sooner than later, all the documentation, I brought them here, but I'm not showing it because we are dealing with somebody who says he has evidence.
So Tiger Eye is registered?
It's registered to do what he's doing.
Okay. He says that when he went to the Registrar of Companies, he didn't find Tiger Eye PI.
Did he get the file? Did he find the file? Was he given the file? Or he didn't get it? There's an extension that you were given a file and the file didn't show that the entity had the right to operate the way it operates, or you didn't get it.
All right.
Giving the file, it's a search. They will
It's a search.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
It's a
That's what I
search.
mean. That's what I mean. When he searched, did he get the file? Did
No,
he
you
get
don't.
it?
You don't
No,
get it.
you don't get the file.
No, you don't
get
understand
the-
what
you
I
get
mean.
the
What
contents.
answers did
Did
he
they
get
get?
based on the search? That's the point I'm
also
making.
That's what
the
is
questions
that's what is
you
given
did.
out.
Thank you. So when you did the search, what
So
did you
the
get?
search would have said, the
This
search would
company
have
is
said,
not
please conduct a search into your documents so and so, and indicate the following. Number 1, is there on your records a company so registered by name Tiger IPI? The answer will come negative.
Yes.
If there is none,
Does he have that answer?
then you may proceed to say, is
that's what-
there any company bearing a name similar to or containing Tiger Eye or something like
Yes.
that?
So did he get it? Why doesn't
He says
put
there
out?
is Tiger
No,
Eye
he did.
PI
He did.
Media Limited.
Yes, he presented a whole list
My brother,
of what he
I am
got.
saying that apart from that being a red herring, which will be answered and has been already been answered and will be proven with documentation.
Okay.
The truth is that let him answer us on the specific
All right.
claim.
Now we are running out of time. Quickly.
So the CJ.